Hello, everybody. I haven't talked to a lot of you in a long time, and I apologize for that. But we all know I'm terrible about making phone calls. I guess I'll just say I'm sorry, and I'm not going to promise that's going to change. I'll do my best. Let's just say that. Um, what I wanted to basically do is put together a video letter for you and talk about how things have been going in my life and update you because I haven't talked to a lot of people in a long time, and a couple people have called and left messages. I know Cody just called me today actually and left a message for me, which is great. I love hearing from people, and makes me feel good, makes me feel cared for, and I appreciate that. But I just wanted to give you an update, let you know what my thinking is, because today I kind of made, actually it was last night, I made a big decision. My friends Jamie and Brooks, I went out to their house and had a conversation with them, and it was work related. So first thing I want to say up front, because this is maybe going to sound like a complaint, and in part it is, but in part it's not. For the first year after law school that I was looking for work, it was a really hard year. I didn't expect, looking for work was going to take as long as it did, but it took a long time. And I came very close to losing everything. So that was real hard. And then finally got the job at the city of Portland. Was thrilled to death. And as I've told a lot of people, I'm going to hang on to this job with a white knuckle grip. And that's true because it is a great job with amazing benefits, and I am making more money now than I've ever made in my entire life in terms of gross income. But because of student loans, which cost me $700 a month, and because of my tax bracket now, I am paying roughly $25,000 per year in taxes, and I'm losing my $700 a month in student loans. And so when you factor it all out, I'm probably not making a whole lot more than I was making before law school when I didn't have loans that large, and was making $30,000 less than I'm making now. So it's kind of a wash, really, and that's fine. I knew what I was getting into. So I'm very thankful for the job, and I enjoy the work that I do. The part about the job that I don't enjoy is both structural, and then part of it is just environment. Structural in the fact that you basically have to go to work in a cubicle village with a bunch of other people, and certain things are prescribed. In other words, I will always make exactly what my wage is, and that's not going to go up or down. It's going to be the same. So that's a nice security, but it means if I want to make more money, that's not going to happen. The other part that I don't particularly like that's kind of structural is, I get 2 weeks of vacation time per year, period. And so I've got to make a choice with those 2 weeks. Do I take my vacation and go see family, go see friends, or do I go take the trip to London that I've always wanted to take, or do I take the trip to the Uffizi Gallery in Milan, which I've wanted to do my entire life, or do I go take that trip to Australia, New Zealand that I wanted to take and then not see my family? I don't like to make those choices. And then the part that I really don't like, that's not structural but is environmental, is the politics. This occurred when I was at the county, at the end of my time at the county, and it's very present right now at the city. It may change a little bit. Part of it is being driven pretty strongly by one particular individual he works with our team, but he's not on our team. And as a result, my boss really doesn't have authority to fire the person. And this person deserves to be fired. There is no doubt about that. And he just makes everybody's life an absolute fucking hell. So, there's that one individual, but he's poisoned the well so much with the rest of the organization that there's all this political infighting and bullshit that happens as a result. And because of the level of our organization, we're a citywide organization that serves all of the bureaus within the city of Portland, we're visible to everybody. And so then everybody's got a stake in the political fight that's happening, and they, you never know who's doing what behind your back. And that's gross. Some of those problems are fairly manageable. Others are just, they blindside you out of nowhere. And it's a waste of time. I spent, last week, this was kind of the coup de grace for me. So, senior asshole that I was just mentioning who should be fired, he's been a problem. But then out of nowhere, because I go by my middle name at work. I go by Charlie. Um, there was a person from a completely different bureau whose name also was Charlie that people I work with, he called them and made them feel horrible, and then that got reported up to another manager in a team that I work with, and the result was that I got blamed for something somebody else said because we had the same first name, or in my case middle name, but we had the same name. And so it took me a day to figure out what was going on and to clean that up, but by the time we figured out that it was the wrong Charlie, then the person who got offended by it had already reported it to human resources. So then it had to be cleaned up in human resources. So I wasted probably 6 hours during the week just cleaning up that mess. And it's juvenile middle school stuff. If the person who reported me would have just asked the person who got upset, what was the last name of the Charlie, this would have not been an issue. You know what I mean? So, I think about that kind of stuff. Not being able to control my vacation time, not being able to control the upper limit of my income, not being able, to control my workspace even. And it's like, I have security. I'm in a really good place in terms of income and in terms of my benefits. There is no doubt about that. But you only live once. You only live once. I believe that. I'm not married. I don't have kids. And I rarely get to see the people that I love the most because most of them live out of state. And, I get it in my family. I'm gay and I don't have kids. And so I'm not as connected to the family. And I've, live in my little place in Oregon. And unless people happen to be coming through for some reason, nobody visits. And that's fine. I mean, I'm fine with that. But I'd like to go visit them. And I'd like to travel the country. And I'd like to travel the world. And I would like to do things that an upper income would permit me to do that I can't do right now. So here's the deal. So this is what I'm saying. I'm not, for anybody who's panicking that I'm going to quit my job, which I'm not, because believe me, being unemployed for a year scared the shit out of me. I'm going to still hang on to my job with a white knuckle grip, and I will eat all the shit that I have to eat at work until I have a business on the side that is viable enough and making enough money for me that I can walk away and not worry about it. And I actually have 3 businesses planned. I'm going to start small with one, see if that makes money, and if it does, then roll the profits from that into developing the second business, and so on until I have enough capital to get to the 3rd level of my 3rd business that I want to do. That will be the most lucrative, but will require the most upfront cash to be engaged with. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, I still have my job at the city. But I'm going to use every waking moment that I have spare time for to dedicate myself to that, And I'll squeeze in fun from time to time and live life in a way that I never got to in law school, because that monkish life was really hard on me. And thank God for Terry Gordon. If he didn't let me schedule Friday nights to get out of law school and just go do something fun, I probably would have lost my mind. But it is to say that I will be devoting myself wholeheartedly to developing businesses and using the cash from the city of Portland that I make there, whatever spare money I can possibly scrape together and save, to investing in and getting those businesses off the ground. My guess is it's going to take me 1.5 to 2 years before I can really get started on a business, but I'm going to start working on it now. I'm going to be educating myself. I'm going to be designing plans. I'm going to be putting things together, talking to some of you, and getting answers to questions that I have. And there's a couple of you that I'm seriously thinking about asking, going into business with me at some point in the future. Because like I said, I think you live only once. And if that's true, what do I got to lose, right? Yeah, maybe my house, maybe my income. I know what you're saying. But, I think you got to take risks to be satisfied with life. And that's hard for me. I'm definitely one of those people who's all about security and safety. But, I also can't be so safe and secure that my life is numb and I don't get to do the things I want to do. Like I said, I'm not married. I don't have kids. There's really no reason why I shouldn't be able to take some calculated risks to get ahead and do something different. And like I said, my friends Brooks and Jamie are great inspiration to me. And in talking with them, they agreed. They were like, keep your job, hang on to your job with a white knuckle grip, and keep working there, and eat whatever shit you got to put up with, and then work towards your goal on the spare time. And that's what I'm going to do. So I wanted to let you all know that, and that's where I'm going. And that's what's been going on with my life, pretty much. Just working. I for a while there was working 12-hour days on some occasions, usually 10-hour days for like the last 6 months. And that paid off. That's generated a pretty good reputation for me at the city for the most part. And I'm able to scale that back to a more normal work day, but I'm still working pretty hard. And that's fine. That satisfies me. So we'll see. But I don't like the political bullshit. It's juvenile, it's middle school, and I don't like putting up with it. And so if I can make money, more money than I'm making now, and have control of my time, why wouldn't I do that? So that's it. In other news, I have nothing really to report. Life has just basically been work, going to the movies on the weekends, and repeating. And I'd like to change that. The highlight of the year so far has been my vacation in Montana, seeing my brother and my nephew and sister-in-law and her family. It was just a great time, and I can't wait to do it again. So anyway, I hope this finds you well. I hope that I get to see you all soon. For those of you in Boise, I'm going to try to make a trip out there sometime this summer. It might just be a weekend fly out because, like I said, I only got 2 weeks vacation every year. And we'll go from there. But I love you all. I hope this finds you happy and healthy. And periodically check in with me and see how I'm doing on my business plans in case I've fallen out of motivation and need a reminder. That would be great. All right? I love you all. Take care.